Hi folks, this is the first of two very short videos offering advice on how to get a summer TEFL job in the UK. I've been recruiting EFL teachers for many years, and these tips are based on the mistakes that I see people make every year. So listen carefully and you should save yourself some time and improve your employment prospects. Tip number one, don't waste your time or an employer's time. Read the criteria in the advert carefully. Recruiters word their adverts carefully for a reason. They want to avoid wasting time by filtering out unsuitable candidates. For example, if the advert says accommodation is not provided and you need to live nearby, don't bother applying if you don't live nearby. Tip number two, if the advert asks for an application form to be completed, fill one in. Don't just attach your CV. Application forms are designed to gather all the relevant information that the employer needs from a candidate and store it in the same place. So do everything you can to make the recruiter's life easy. Tip number three, keep your CV up to date, particularly your contact details and when you're available. Review your CV regularly to tweak it for improvements and try and tailor it specifically towards the TEFL industry. Make sure your referees are your most recent employers wherever possible. Tip number four, your application form or CV should give a clear picture of your qualifications and employment history without being too long. Remember that your CV will be one of many received by recruiters, so brief, accurate information is very important. Tip number five, understand why employers don't like TEFL qualifications gained online or over a weekend. The reason for this is simple. Schools and colleges which are part of the Accreditation UK scheme must employ teachers who have a valid certificate in ELT. To be considered as a valid certificate in ELT/TESOL, the qualification must A. be externally validated by a reputable examining body, usually a university or recognised examination board, B. contain at least 6 hours supervised teaching practice, i.e. teaching practice where a qualified assessor observes the trainee teacher teaching real students and gives feedback on his or her performance, and C. contain at least 100 hours of ELT/TESOL input. These criteria mean that most online and weekend qualifications will be unacceptable. Tip number six, understand what an ideal candidate is. Recruiters are generally looking for graduates, preferably in foreign languages or English, with a recognised TEFL qualification and preferably some teaching experience. If you lack any of these, you'll probably need to compensate in other areas, so work on selling yourself. In addition to these basic requirements, they're looking for people who are articulate, presentable, enthusiastic and reliable. Okay, that's the end of video number one. If you found this advice useful, make sure you check out the second short video for the rest of my tips on how to get a summer TEFL job in the UK. You can watch it now by clicking on the link in the bottom right corner of your screen. In the meantime, here's a list of places where you can find TEFL jobs over at networktefl.com. Thanks for listening.